My eyelid blepharoplasty update and an update on my mall. Stay tuned. Hi, and welcome to my channel. In today's video, I'll give you an update on my upper eyelid blepharoplasty and an update on my mall. I want to thank you for being here. Welcome. I really appreciate you being here today. And if you're not already subscribed, please subscribe to my channel, ring that bell for future notifications, give me a like if you like it, and leave me a comment. And by the way, it's free to subscribe. It doesn't cost anything. Well, I'll start with the eyes. I went to the doctor on November 4th. Today's November 6th. That was 15 days out. And he took out the stitches. Well, but they're not all out. He took out the ones that he had to remove. But in addition to those, I didn't know this, there are dissolvable stitches. And they dissolve, I guess, when they're ready to dissolve or when you're healed. I don't know. So I still have some stitches in. So I'll see if I can get a close-up here. And I'll close my eyes. And he took out, you know, it's like they clip it and then they pull and it's like one long string. So most of them are out up here. But I still have stitches here. And maybe one here in the middle. I can feel it. Yeah, there's one here. And then there's some out here. And they will just dissolve when they're ready to dissolve. So, I don't know when that'll be. So still no makeup, no eye makeup or anything like that. He said don't tug on my eyes or rub them or anything. But I can resume all normal activities. I don't have any restrictions. I'm done with the antibiotic cream. I'm done icing, things like that. And he said it takes a good 3 months to completely heal. So I got a little more time to go. But as soon as these stitches fall out, then I can put on like a concealer to cover, you know, it's red here where the stitch line is. And then I can put mascara and stuff like that. But for now, I can't because I won't be able to wash it off because of the stitches, and then I'll be tugging on my eyes to, you know, get it cleaned off real good. So here I am, still no makeup on my eyes, but I did put bronzer on and what do you call this, blush and some lipstick. So this is the best I can look for now. I don't know how much longer it'll take for these to fall out. And until they do, no eye makeup for me. So that's it. I did very well, and hopefully in 3 months, I'll look pretty darn good. Well, now it's time for a quick update on my mom. It was very, very difficult. She was supposed to go in to the rehabilitation hospital on Monday. And they didn't have a bed, so they changed it to Tuesday. And they called and said, this has never happened before, but we don't have a bed. A couple of discharges that were supposed to be discharged didn't happen. The person had to stay, and so they didn't have a bed. And she said it would be Friday, meaning today, to bring her in at 10:30. So that's what we thought. However, she called Wednesday morning and said, I have great news. We did have a discharge. Have your mother here at 2:30 today. So we took her Wednesday. Now she has been in bed from Monday until Wednesday. Never got dressed, never got out of her pajamas, couldn't get up and walk. Dave would take her to the bathroom. She could put weight on one foot, but not the other foot. And so she half walked on the one leg and then he kind of carried her the rest. And that's what we did. We got her up, when she wanted to get up and go to the bathroom, and that's it. Then she would be right back in bed. And, it was heartbreaking because she was in so much pain, and we didn't know why. And we thought it might be from the falls. But anyhow, she's been in the rehabilitation hospital since Wednesday. They x-rayed her yesterday. They did her hips, her coccyx bone, her spine, everything. Nothing is broken from the falls. No fractures, nothing. There is some osteoarthritis, and they said that can be painful and very uncomfortable. And then because of the falls she has had, then that has made the arthritis worse. It inflames it, so everything's very inflamed, and that's why she can't walk. So that's where that is. We all went over, me and Dave, and then Tristan, my 22-year-old grandson, who is here living with us for a year, my son Nathan, who came down from Virginia, and his son Noah, who came. He's the one that's very, very close to my mother. So they have been here all week. And then my sister and her husband arrived on Tuesday. So we all went over on Wednesday. My mother did not know my sister and brother-in-law were there. We felt it was better that she didn't know because of how her mind works. She might think because my sister came down from Pennsylvania that she came down to just throw her in a nursing home. That's the way her mind works. And she's not in a nursing home, but she may think that. But because she's blind, my sister and her husband could see my mother. They kissed her, they hugged her, and my sister could even talk to her. And my mother thought it was me because we sound alike. So she had no idea she was talking to my sister and not me. And my sister was kissing her and hugging her, and she didn't know the difference. And so we had to do a little trick, which we knew we would have to. And Dave, my husband, was sitting right next to her on the bed, and everybody else was in the bedroom too. And she loved that because she said, "Wow, I'm having a party in my bedroom." And she asked who was there, and we told her, and she said, "I have 4 men in my bedroom. Oh, I can't wait to tell somebody I have 4 men in my bedroom." I mean, no matter how much pain she's in or what's going on, her sense of humor, her feistiness, and her personality is very much there. So I dialed Dave's cell phone, even though I was standing right in the same room. He answered his phone, and he talked real loud because he was right next to her so she could hear him. And he was just saying like, yes, oh, okay, yeah, and when, and stuff like that. And then when he hung up, he said, "Peg, that was Medicare. And they said you have to go get some rehabilitation. They want to get you walking again." And she said, "Well, what's that mean?" And he said, "Well, some physical therapy and things like that to get you up and moving again." "No, I don't feel up to that." And he said, "Well, Friday night's coming up in 2 days. And we have our Friday night date night. So you want to do that, don't you?" Because they go out every Friday night. They have for 3 years. And that's their date night. It's just him and her. And she loves it. She loves male attention. And so she really didn't want to, but she didn't fight it that hard. Of course, she thought she was just going like to a doctor's office to get some therapy and come home. We could not tell her that she would have to stay overnight or stay or anything. And we knew that. So we got her up, and we used my son's car because our truck is too high. We couldn't have got her in the truck. We got her in the car. Everybody came, all of us that were there. We got her there. the nurse came out and got her bags, which she didn't see because she's blind. If she would have saw that, she would have had a fit. And then the nurse came out with the wheelchair, and we all got to, see her and hug her and kiss her and stuff like that. And she was smiling. I mean, she thought, wow, this is great, I love having all these people around me. This is a party, that's the way she thinks. And it was very, very sad and very emotional for everybody. It was difficult. And so then Dave said he was going to go in with her. And she said, what? And I said, Ma, Dave is going to take you in. And she said, oh, yeah, Daddy Dave. He's going to take me in. She always torments him, and he torments her. And so he took her in, and then, of course, none of us could go in at all. They've never had one single COVID case, and they don't want any because they have a perfect record. So only one person, and it has to be the same person that comes to visit her. Now I can't visit her because only Dave can go in. The room's on a ground floor, and they have a big, big picture window. And it starts from like the middle of your thigh and then goes all the way up. So we have a full view of her in the room. And of course, if she could see all of us right on the other side of the window. And the bed is right there. But she can't see. She's blind. So we were all there, but she didn't know it. And once the nurses came in, I think 4 came in, and they were getting her settled and, taking her blood pressure and doing what they do. And they were talking to her, and they were very kind. And they told her that, should be spending the night. They didn't say you're going to be here a week or 2 or 4. They just said, well, you'll spend the night and we'll start your therapy. And that did it. When she heard that, she took a fit. I mean, she was angry. And she was saying, I'm not spending the night. Dave, take me out of here right now. And of course, Dave said, Peg, I can't. You can't walk. They're just going to help you be able to walk again. That's all. How could you do this to me? You tricked me. How could you do this to me? You threw me in a nursing home. She's not in a nursing home, and none of that's true. But that's a fear, and it's something that's in her mind, and because of the dementia, she cannot understand. And, excuse me, she told him, you go get Sheila right now. Get her. Get out. Get out. I want Sheila in here. Because she knows if she said to me, get me out of here, I would buckle. I would say, okay, let's go. And I can't do it. And that's why Dave and my son and my sister and my brother-in-law all voted me out and Dave in. Because Dave knows how to calm her down, get her mind off things, and they're very, very close. And I would cave. And they're right, I would. I know it. But it just saddens me because I can't go in and see her. Well, anyhow, she got very upset. She was crying. We could all see that through the window. And she told Dave, I hate you. I hate you. I'll never forgive you for this. Do you hear me? I'll never forgive you. Get out. Get out. And her blood pressure went way up. They said it was extremely high because she was so agitated. Because she doesn't have high blood pressure. That's not an issue of hers. But because of the agitation, the fear, she doesn't know what's going on, the confusion. And so they were trying to get her calmed down. Dave was trying to hold her hand, and she ripped her hand out of his. Don't touch me. Get out. I hate you. Do you hear me? I'll never forgive you, ever. It was just heartbreaking because they're so close and Dave does so much with her. But, it's to be expected with her dementia and everything. So he stayed with her. They allowed him to stay in there for 20 minutes, and they were in there too. They asked him a lot of questions about her so that they could talk to her, and so she would feel comfortable. Like they wanted to know what town, she lived in, where she had worked, what's the name of her friends or family members, and they wrote all that down so that they could say to her, well, Peg, tell me about your friend Patty. And then she would think, oh, they know Patty too. And things like that, which was just such a wonderful thing. And after Dave left, then that evening, the nurse called me and said, they got her calmed down, and they stayed with her one nurse did, for an hour and a half, but just to talk, just to ask her about, where she worked, and just to get her mind off of it. And they said they got her calm, but she's still very upset. She keeps saying, I can't believe they did this to me. I can't believe they did this to me. So that wasn't good. It was a very difficult thing. So then yesterday was Thursday, and Dave can visit from anywhere between 10 and 2. So he went over at 10, and he texted me, and he said it's the same as yesterday. Again, she did not want him there. She hated him. She started crying. She reminded him, I will never, ever forgive you for this. Do you hear me? Ever. And, that went on, and he was trying to calm her down, take her mind off of it, things like that. And nothing seemed to be working. And so then he said, well, I'll tell you what, Peg. He said, I'm here because I want to spend time with you, because I love you and I care about you. We all do. You're just here to get some help to get back on your feet. That's all. Then you'll come back home. Which, that's not true, but that's what he had to tell her. And that wasn't working. And he said, I'll tell you what. He said, I love you. And I want to be here. And I wanted to spend time with you. But I will not let you treat me this way. I will not. So I'm going to leave, and I'm going to come back tomorrow at 10 and see if you want to see me and talk to me then. And then it all changed. He was like, Dave, don't leave me, don't leave. And so he said, well, I won't if you want me to stay, but I cannot allow you to treat me this way, Peg. And then she got real nice. And they had a nice visit, and he got her laughing. They torment each other to death. I mean, they really torment each other. And he can just get her laughing about anything and get her mind off things. He just has a special way with her. So that went well. He stayed till 12:30, so he was there 2.5 hours. And then when he left, he told her, I'll be back tomorrow, Peg, at 10 o'clock. And she said, do you promise? You promise me you're coming back? He said, absolutely. And right now, as I'm filming this video, it's about 10:30, and he is already there. He went at 10 o'clock. So hopefully today, when he got there, he was greeted, like she normally would greet him. And the anger and the fear and all that hopefully has subsided some. It's hard to tell, when you have dementia. I mean, he could walk in and she could do the same thing. I hate you. I'll never forgive you. We just don't know. It's just a day at a time. Eventually, they can let her come outside in a courtyard, and then we could at least see her. But they said not now, because she's too upset and worried about being there and mad at everybody. So they said until she gets adjusted, that can't happen. Now, I don't know that she'll be there very long because honestly, I don't know how they can do physical therapy and the different therapies on her, and that's a requirement from Medicare. If you go to a rehabilitation hospital and you're on Medicare, you have to have 3 hours of therapy a day. It's speech, swallowing therapy, occupational therapy, physical therapy, different things. But they are required to do that 3 hours a day, and she has to be able to participate. And I don't know that she can. So this could be a very, very short visit. They could call me any day and say, we can't, we can't keep her, because by law they can't if they can't do the therapy. So if that's the case, the plan is now that the rehab hospital will make a referral to the nursing home. It's NHC, National Health Care, which is right there in the same area. And then she would go from the rehab hospital to the nursing home. That's the way it's supposed to work. Will it work perfectly? Who knows? You don't know. The worst thing that could happen is if they say there's nothing we can do for her, you need to pick her up, and we would have to bring her back home and then send her back out somewhere later, a month later. It's way too confusing for her, way too confusing. And they said she cannot be alone for a minute. She has to have 24-hour care. They want her staying in bed unless they can do something with her in this rehab, because she's such a fall risk. She has fallen so many times. So I don't know. This is what's going on right now, and we'll see how long she stays there, and if it works out where she transfers straight to the nursing home. And it's only a mile from here, so we can still see her every day. And the nursing home rules aren't as strict as the rehab hospital. So maybe only one person at a time can go visit, but it could be Dave one day, me the next, then Dave, then me, like that. So that'll make it a little bit better. But she'll never be able to know she's in a nursing home, that's for sure. Because, boy, that really sets her off. And they're still trying to convince her you're not in a nursing home, you're in a hospital. But it's her mind. So anyhow, that was just a quick update. Normally my videos post every Tuesday and Friday by 10 a.m. and it's 10:30 while I'm doing this video. So we'll still have to get it uploaded to YouTube. So it's going to come out later today, and then I'll come back on Tuesday with my regular videos again. I want to thank you so much for being here. My inside beauty tip is going to be a verse from Romans 7:15. It's very applicable for me right now, and maybe for some of you. So I want to read it word for word so that you get the picture. And it says, "For what I am doing, I do not understand. For what I will to do, that I do not practice. But what I hate, that I do." Wow, that is very applicable to me right now. It's like, what I hate to do, I'm doing. And what I don't want to do, I'm doing. And I can't do what I really want to do, which is, again, remind myself, keep telling myself, it's in God's hands. Things will work out. You gave it to Him. Trust him. Do not worry. It won't change one hair on your head. Those sort of things. That's how I want to be. That's how I want to feel so much. But then I keep falling back. I keep falling back and I worry. And I'm very fretful of everything that's going on. I'm very upset. I'm very uptight. I'm worried. And I'm having trouble sleeping and things like that. And I know better. I know. And I do it anyhow. Even though that's not what I want to do. I mean, here I am in this video. It was an update on my Ma and on my eyelid surgery. And my eyes are nice and open. And oh my gosh, I can see so much better, my peripheral vision. But I look so tired. I mean, when I look in the mirror, I can see I have a actual mobile lid now. It's visible because the skin was lifted off of it. But I'm dark, I'm tired, my eyes look tired. I just keep doing what I don't want to do, and that's very frustrating. And I don't know if you all have ever been there with any situation. I don't know, just say you drink Coke all day and you don't want to because you know it's not good for you. You absolutely don't want to do it. You absolutely know it's not good for you. And you find yourself in the refrigerator popping the top and drinking your Cokes all day. And then you just get so mad at yourself. Well, that's what I'm talking about. That's how I'm feeling. And I just keep praying about it and getting regrounded and relying on the scriptures in my heart that bring me peace, that get me back to a better place. So that's the good thing. Every time I get pulled away, I can bring myself back. I just wish I could come back and stay back and not keep doing this. But I guess that's part of being human. So I just wanted to share that with you. And I want to thank you so much for being here and for listening and for all your support, all your prayers. I'm so grateful to each and every one of you. Well, until we meet again, this is the old girl signing out. See ya.